Hi. Hi, my name's Stephanie.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. You want to take a seat over on that couch on the other side? Okay, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Okay. Well, before we start, I just want to go ahead and tell you a little bit about what we're going to do today.
Okay.
So, first of all, I just want to let you know that everything that we're going to talk about today is confidential. So you can say anything in here that you want. This is your safe place. You can just talk about whatever you want to talk about. And basically, I just want to get a little bit of information today about what you came in for and just kind of see why you came in today. Do you mind if I take notes?
That's fine.
Okay, great. Well, let's get started. What did you come in today for?
I'm in college and I'm just really stressed and overwhelmed.
All right.
I've been stressed before, but this is just different. It's more
Something that's unusual.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me a little more about that?
Well, I'm paying for college myself.
Okay.
And my parents aren't helping with that.
All right.
So that's really stressful knowing that I have to pay for it and that if I needed help that they wouldn't be there to help me or they wouldn't be willing to help me. So that's been, I guess, the main reason that I'm really stressed, along with just the other factors of college that are stressful.
Yeah, yes, of course. So you're stressed because you're having to pay for this yourself and your parents aren't really there to help you with it.
Yeah.
Do you have a good relationship with your parents?
Yeah, we have a good relationship. And in high school, they always told me that if I wanted to go to college, that I would have to pay for it myself just because they couldn't. So I've always known that I would have to do this, but it's harder than I expected.
Okay, so you weren't expecting that this was going to be.
Yeah, because I didn't really want to take out student loans because then I'll be in debt forever. But it's hard to do well in my classes and work enough to pay for school and everything else that goes along with it.
Okay, so you're not taking out student loans, you are just
Well,
working to pay for school?
I have a few student loans, but I'm paying for half of school myself. So I'm so I'm still doing some of it.
Gotcha. And what are you doing to pay for school?
I work at Gap.
At Gap. Cool.
Yeah.
And you like that?
Yeah, I like it. It's nice. It's kind of relaxing sometimes until we get shipments of clothes in, but usually it's nice.
Gotcha. And do you feel like that is an extra stress having to deal with that and deal with school as well, or?
Yeah, because there's sometimes that I have to work that it would be way easier for me to just go home and be able to do homework as opposed to having to do homework whatever time I get off or have to put it off until the weekend or something. Okay,
so it's kind of taking time away from when you're studying. You could have more time for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. How are you coping with adjusting to being in college?
I guess it's been kind of hard moving away from home, and my boyfriend, I have a boyfriend who lives at home, so it's hard not seeing my family or him, and I guess just kind of dealing with all of this on my own, and having a job makes it harder to make friends because I don't have tons of free time, so it's been hard to adjust and to deal with it all.
So you're having problems kind of coping with being in a new area and things like that. Do you have a lot of friends here, or?
I mean, I'm friends with my coworkers, but we don't really hang out outside of work. We're kind of just strictly work friends, which is nice because I talk to them while I'm on my shift, but we aren't really friends where I could call them to go to dinner or just to hang out or something. Okay,
so maybe a support system isn't there.
Yeah.
When you need it. Okay. Gotcha. And you said that you had a boyfriend. And how's that relationship?
The relationship is pretty good, I guess, considering that we're in a long distance one. We've been dating for a year.
Okay.
So we have a pretty solid, I guess, foundation for being apart, but that's also hard and stressful just
because you're having to adjust to that relationship.
Because I was used to seeing him all the time, every day almost, and now I don't see him at all, and I'm more stressed now than I was then, so it's kind of when I would want to be around him the most, so that's been hard.
Gotcha. Let me ask you, how far away are you from?
5 hours.
5 hours. Wow, that is a lot.
So it's doable for a weekend, but I'm usually working on the weekend, so I can't really go home that much. And definitely couldn't go home for a day or something.
Yeah, that would be rough. I could imagine that would be very difficult for you to not be able to be close to your family and your boyfriend as well. So, have you had any problems with school or?
No, I mean, I've always been good at school. I do well. I study well. It's been different this time just because I'm working more. I always had part-time jobs in high school, but not to the extent that the amount I'm working now. So I guess just kind of balancing between the two has been difficult, but I haven't really had struggles with my schoolwork or tests so far, at least.
Okay, so it's maybe balancing the schoolwork and sorry, please ignore that. Balancing your schoolwork and your job as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you came in today because you're having problems with dealing with paying for school, and that's creating stress in other areas of your life. Can you tell me more about that?
I guess it's just I guess since I've never been this stressed before, it's hard for me because I don't really know how to manage it, especially since I don't have my boyfriend to like talk to and confide in. I don't have that like group of friends like I have at home to talk to. So I guess just trying to figure out how to deal with all of the stress but still have a job to pay for school. I don't know. It seems kind of impossible almost right now. But
gotcha. And do your friends at home and like your boyfriend and your parents, do they understand what you're going through, or?
Kind of. My friends, everyone knows that I'm paying for this on my own and that I have a job. But my other friends who are in college, their parents are helping them pay for it, so they can like try to relate, but they don't really understand. So it's kind of hard to talk to them about it because they do their best, but they don't
know the exact situation that you're going through.
And I guess the same kind of goes for my boyfriend. He's the same thing. He graduated from college now, but he didn't have to pay for it himself. So
okay,
it's just been, I don't know, I kind of feel like no one
really gets it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I bet that'd be very difficult.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you have friends at home, and do they come to see you often, or?
They're planning to come see me, but since it is a 5-hour drive, it's a big deal for them to come to find a weekend since they're all in school. We all have tests and papers due, so it's hard to find time that they can come on a weekend that I'm not working, or vice versa for me to go somewhere else. But we have plans for them to come, which makes me excited. But yeah.
So you do have that support. And you're kind of making plans to be near that support.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, so can you kind of describe a little bit what your stress is like?
I guess it's mostly that I'm not. Well, I guess it's stressful, one, that I'm so busy with school and work that I'm not being able to make friends here as well as I would be if I had tons of free time. So it's kind of like this never-ending circle of I have to work to pay for school, but when I do that, then I don't have time to make friends, and then I'm just like, I don't know, it just keeps going around.
It's kind of a cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so your stress is causing you maybe not to be able to make good relationships here, and that just creates even more stress, I bet.
Yeah, it is, and I want to be friends. I want to make friends. Obviously, everybody wants to make friends, but it's hard to. I feel like my work friends, all we have in common really is work, and you can't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could see maybe some of us being better friends outside of work, but I just really, it's like I barely have time. By the time I get home from work and I do my homework, it's like I don't even. All I want to do is go to sleep. You know, I don't have time to just hang out or like watch movies or.
Yeah. Well, I think it's great that you're managing. You know, you have a lot of stress financially, and you're having a hard time trying to reach out to people, and I think that you're doing pretty well managing all of that. So I think that's great.
Thanks.
Yeah. And do you have any really coping mechanisms that you try to do to deal with your stress?
I guess when I'm really stressed, I'll talk to my boyfriend and stuff, but that sometimes makes me more stressed because he's not there. But I guess for me, the things that I do, like on my own, I really like to do yoga. So if I ever have free time, I always try to go for an hour or something, which helps, I guess.
That's good.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else that you try to do? Or?
Not really. Usually, I use my free time to either catch up on sleep or to catch up on homework, which when I do that, I'm less stressed because I'm getting stuff done.
Okay.
So being productive helps, even though it takes up my free time, but it helps to deal with stress.
So your coping is you use yoga and being even productive helps you cope with your stress. That's great.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about your relationship with your parents and why maybe that caused.
Well, we've always had a really great relationship. we were a really close family. It was just my parents and my older sister and I. So it was just the four of us. We'd go everywhere together, eat dinner together all the time. So it's not that we don't have a hard relationship. And I've told them that I'm stressed, but it's like just financially they can't help support me. So that's kind of like they would love to if they were able to, but they financially can't put me through college. So that's kind of been hard on both of us, I guess, because I can see them being upset, like they want to do more, but they aren't able to. So as parents, I can only imagine that that's hard for them. So I guess it's like I see that they want to help, but knowing that they really can't almost is like hard. I guess it's just hard for both of us in general.
Do you think that maybe puts a strain on your relationship
a little bit? Because I feel bad like complaining to them or like telling them how stressed I am, because that only makes them feel worse about it. So I try to keep that away from them and let them know, like, if I'm really, really upset, I'll tell them, but just on a day-to-day basis, I normally just tell them everything is going fine, just because I don't want to make them more upset about it than they already are.
Gotcha. So you can't really talk to your parents about the stress that you're experiencing, and it's hard for you to talk to your boyfriend about it, and your friends back at home don't really understand what you're going through, so you're having a hard time dealing with finding people to talk to about it.
Yeah, finding other people who understand, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you tried going to maybe like a support group or?
Well, I guess I don't. I guess I didn't really think of that, so no, I haven't tried yet. But I think it would be helpful to talk to other students who are going through the same thing, because I know there are tons of students who pay their way through college and work and have school and manage. But I guess I'm just not surrounded by those people that are doing that, so to me it seems like I'm the only one.
It seems like you're just kind of left out, and that this is something that only you have to deal with. Okay. Well, I think that that's a pretty normal thing to experience. A lot of people have trouble with dealing with financial support, and they often think that they're alone, but that's definitely something that would be difficult.
Yeah.
So is there anything else that you want to tell me that you haven't told me yet, or?
I guess the only other thing, well, I guess we kind of talked about the relationship long distance thing, but I guess that's also stressful, just trying to make sure that I'm giving that as much time as you can, being away from each other. So
your relationship with your boyfriend is important to you.
Yes, it is important.
And have you tried? Have you done anything to try to keep that relationship as strong as it is?
Well, we definitely make time to talk to each other every day, either on the phone or texting, even if it's just like really brief, to just catch up, like, oh, how's your day? So we try to do that every day, because we both have such busy schedules and different schedules, so it can be hard sometimes, but I think at this point at least we're both making an effort on each end, which is helpful. But I guess you hear all those horror stories about people going away and long distance never working, so I guess I'm just kind of worried about, I guess I have no reason to be worried right now, but it's just like, I guess hearing all of that is...
Well, I think it's great that you're taking the time and making sure that you maintain that relationship that's important to you, even in light of all the stress that you're experiencing. That's really great that you're doing that. So, okay, so we've talked a little bit about a few things that you're feeling stressed from not having financial support from your parents, that you're having to pay for all of this on your own, and also that you're having a hard time developing relationships here at school, and that's creating even more stress, and also that you're having to work in order to pay for your schooling, and that's creating more stress as well.
Yeah.
So it seems like I've got a lot of good information here that we can delve into a little bit more in the upcoming sessions, and I think that we've got a lot to work on, but I think that we can get through it.
Oh, good.
So do you have any questions for me?
I don't think so.
All right. Okay, well, it was very nice to meet you.
It's nice meeting you, too.
To the door. All right, and I will see you next week.